So I went ahead and did some more work on that museum armory hab. I wanted to play around and see if I could get any material swaps for any of the stuff, and I was able to find some stuff for the floor that it all seems really to be tagged to whatever it is that the piece is, to what it shows is available. Like for instance, Mateo Habs, the I click on the wall and I have different set of options that when I try to apply the same thing to the walls of a different type, a different manufacturer. I think this is Demos here, the Demos 3x3 empty cargo bay. I didn't have the same choices. So that was interesting. But these floors, clicking on these floors in the hab, did give me this option. And these look like sort of one of the patterns that you can find in Shattered Space and in the Amagast, however you pronounce it, space station where the spacers are. So I duplicate, I basically I copy the built verticals from my Teo habs, and they will fit in here. I dropped them in here and removed the wall that was there. I don't know what that structure was for. It was there, but wasn't one of the swappable points, so I didn't have any concern about changing out what the structure was that was there. I could put in a couple more of them, like that gray in the back between the red. That's actually not a swappable. The reds are all the swappable points. And by having the vertical walls, that allows me to do a little bit better decorating and all. But this is where I am with it right now. Basically, I got done with all of the weapon testing that I wanted to do, and I didn't really come up with any real answers about why everything doesn't always skin, but everything doesn't always skin. And I'm not, yeah, everything else is a guess at this point. I don't really have any really good leads that I'm not sure what's really happening there. Something's happening there. So there's some reason for it, because it always happens. Some of them skin, some of them don't skin. Some of them skin more frequently than others, but I haven't isolated anything as to, oh well, that's what's going on, and I haven't seen any other data that would give me any leads on that. So I'm kind of through messing with that for now, and decided I would mess with seeing if I could go ahead and turn that hab into something, fix its name. I'd had its name set up so that it was, for an experimental, and kind of highlight that it was experimental and not a finished hab. And then I went in and, like I say, I had some success with the material swaps, and so I pulled up a bunch of the weapons that I'd put out, because I had a lot of redundancy in the stuff that I'd put out, and that was specifically because I was testing a range of possibilities. And so what I did after that is I went ahead and used the experimental to see what I could do, what I had access to with material swaps, and grab some of the artwork, do some material swaps, add the artwork, mix some of the Shattered Space stuff in that I wanted to use, and Yeah, just kind of do some artwork. And the suits of armor that are out are the Shattered Space suits that came out with the Shattered Space. I've got a wall of Shattered Space stuff. I've got a small wall also of the stuff that came out in the Armada. Not everything. I didn't put the heavy weapons. Actually, I did put one heavy weapon up on the wall with some of the rifles because it was smaller in structure and it would fit on a wall just fine. But yeah, I just did some art. Got I put these gun cases out just as just a, trying something here. Then I put my walls up and come back in, and my gun case is hitting half in a wall. I'd forgotten that I had a gun case there, but I wanted the wall there anyway. I can move the gun case. Uh, there's actually a lot of flexibility for doing other stuff with this because I left a whole lot of floor space. And you've got a lot of decor and a lot of fancy. I put in a coffee bar. I started to put in that hitching post bar that I've got in my 2x3, but I decided that that's too much of like a bar, and wouldn't really blend with firearms. I'm kind of like, no, you don't do that. But a coffee bar, yeah, that goes. And so I put in the coffee bar. I kind of want to see if I can figure out this material swaps on those chairs. Those chairs would look right as stainless steel. That would go real well with this theme. But I haven't figured out how to apply that. They have them when I pull them out of the Paradiso Hotel, but I haven't figured out how to dig down and get them to where I can apply them here or any place other than the hotel. I didn't really want to put any weapons in this part. I wanted this to be more of a sitting room, but I had a bunch of weapons that I had dropped all over the floors for testing, and so I just stuck them in a case and stuck a case over there. And basically, the case is just occupying space right now. Um, I'm not sure what I want to put there. There's a table that might be nice. There's a couple of different things. I might just leave some of this stuff open. I'm kind of at a point right now of, well, what do I leave open so that I can populate it with the outpost tool and have flexibility? And what am I going to always want to stick someplace? So I might as well go ahead and put it there in the creation kit. And that just basically takes using the hab and building it a few times, and then I start realizing, oh, well, I always like this here, and there's not anything else that I like there as much as I like what I've been putting there, so I'll just go into the creation kit and put it there. Um, but sometimes I don't put things down because I want to leave the flexibility. I can always put something in with the outpost tool, but if I build over a doorway or a hatch or something like that, that's not a good idea because that means that that's a problem if you ever want to use that doorway or hatch. So as a rule, I don't build over those. Um, and so there's always the flexibility of configuring a build how I want to configure it, not having to worry about that stuff, and then just populate the other locations with the outpost tool. It's easy enough. But I basically have got most of the weapons. was still going to put the antique weapons that showed up in the Armada, but I haven't pulled them out and found a spot for them. I might put them over by the coffee bar. But anyway, that's what I've done so far.